Luta Mutlakelwa, who's standing at one of the biggest stories today. The NUMSA strike has come to an end, Luta.
Yes, Peter, it's finally over. It took about, 4 weeks to end this strike. But to tell us a little bit more about the details or how we actually arrived to the decision today to finally end the strike in the metal and engineering sector, I'm joined by the General Secretary of NUMSA, Mr. Irvin Jim. Mr. Irvin Jim, 4 weeks to get to where we are, was it all worth all the 4 weeks?
Well, I think the struggle to end colonial wage cannot only be resolved by a strike. At some point, government need to move decisively and introduce a national minimum wage and ensure that workers in this country who are super exploited basically receive a living wage. We think that 4 weeks, yes, it was very hard. It has a serious impact to our members and in the economy. We have secured 10% for 3 years. We think that our members, yesterday, we spent the whole day reflecting on the offer on the table and some technicality around Section 37 where employers wanted to freeze history that for the 3 years the union should not raise anything at plant level. There has been a formulation which we were willing to live with it that says where we have got bargaining rights, where we, for instance, we have monthly meeting, recognition agreement, we can raise issues that are outside the main agreement and bargain, and we can be able to embark on strike action. Remember, this was a self-good feeling for employers. They wanted to consciously be confident. There has been no experience where NUMSA at plant level will go on a rampage to start bargaining after we have settled, as we have settled. And therefore, our members, having discussed the NEC deliberation, you must appreciate this is not a small matter because you're dealing with 220,000 workers across the length and breadth of the country. So you will find that a particular local somewhere would still be saying, look, 4 and 2, we want 10, 11, 12. But the rest of our members overwhelmingly said it is now the time to end the strike. Let's accept 10% because we are a union that is driven by a majority rule. We're calling on all our members tomorrow to go back to work, and we're calling on employers to leave our members in peace, not to harass them, because those workers are back at work. They are dealing with what government is failing to do, which is to basically declare a national minimum wage. And unless that issue is being addressed, we are going to continue to have these continuations of strike that basically position the company in a bad light globally.
Talking about the issue of harassment of your members, there was an issue of, this strike was marred by a lot of intimidation and violence. There were those reports. How is NUMSA dealing with the issue? There are some employers who have actually threatened to deal decisively with workers that might have been found to be guilty of any transgressions during the strikes.
We're not dealing with one-size-fits-all kind of a situation. There has been some people who entered the strike naughty for different agendas, but in the overall, we take a view that having assessed that our members, after we've made a call that they must jealously defend their strike, they have done so very well, and we hope that, as a union, this is not the first strike. We would have to embark on education so that our members don't allow basically people who infiltrate our strike for destructive agendas. And in the overall, we think that this was a strike that was done in a very organized fashion, and we will learn from it.
There we go, Peter Ndoro. That was General Secretary of NUMSA, Mr. Irvin Jim, outlining to us what the details of the agreement that they've just concluded with the employers in the metal and engineering sector. So, Peter, from tomorrow, workers will be reporting back to work, and I suppose some of them will continue reporting back to work on Thursday and for the rest of the week.
Luta Mutlakelwa, thank you very much indeed, giving us details of the NUMSA strike, which is finally over. July 1, 200,000 workers went on strike, demanding 15%. They eventually settled for 10%. And as Luta was saying, they go back to work as from tomorrow.